We don't need no stinking budget. Oh, no.
Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
You play ball like a girl! Oh, yeah! Come to play!
And Leon's getting larger.
Nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Well, thank you very much. Can I be in charge for a while?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Ooh, no, just or I am. It's just I'm Tyler.
I Tyler.
Are we ever going to like have a consistent through line with your stuff?
I'm keep chopping down what I say smaller and smaller until I'm like I'm just T. Or if you want to just T.
But guys, thank you so much for watching so far. If you, in case you don't know, this is a show where we talk about movie news, movie reviews, and everything in between. So, Tyler, man, what you been up to this week?
I kind of forgot what I've been doing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I can't recall what I've done because I think I just watched TV.
Oh, well, hey, that seems like a very productive time.
I can't tell you what I watched though, man. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's okay. Well, speaking about telling you not know what you watched, Stephen Lang is going to be the villain in the next 4 Avatar films.
Oh, you mean Dances with Aliens?
Yeah, they're still making these.
Dances with Aliens. They're making more of that. And, wait, I thought that's the guy from Terra Nova.
Terra Nova?
That's the guy from Into the Waste.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing a lot of things. Most recently, he's been in this movie called Don't Breathe, where he played a blind man that attacked all the people.
Yeah, the creepy blind man.
Yeah, and also that's a great movie if you want to check that out. Ooh. But Stephen Lang has been confirmed for the villain for the next 4 Avatar films, which are rumored to be one is underwater, and there's just on different parts of the planet. But here's the question: didn't he die in the last one, or am I just remembering that wrong?
I think he did die, unless they're going to do something where they like
brings him back to life.
Like make him like part machine. They like half his body's like robot, like Cable.
Yeah, but like this, when I heard this news, it made me really
Phoenix person. That's what he's going to be.
It made me really confused because like in battle he did die.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a prequel to this, or like no Sam Worthington? Is it going to be like Sam Worthington's brother that goes on a mission before this?
What if it's his ghost? His ghost comes out and starts possessing things.
That'd be kind of lame.
Or like his ghost possessed a tree and the tree comes to life. And
oh yeah, and it's like a message
Brown.
that we should recycle again.
Oh no, it's like an episode of Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin.
I'm not feeling that.
You remember The Great Pumpkin when they like Linus?
Yeah, but I don't think that
sacrificed him to bring forth the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, I know. I don't think James Cameron's going to do that.
I think so, man. They had to get the giant tree to kill the pumpkin.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. I know
the movie's about killing
Brown.
trees, not trees killing people.
Oh, okay.
Sends a wrong message.
Yeah, I don't even know what message that movie's saying. All I know is Dances with Aliens.
Yeah, but I mean, what the question is like the next ones that are going to be coming out. Like we said, like we kind of know basic.
Are they coming out? Are they coming out?
They are coming out. There's one slated for 2019, I think.
I feel like this is like a whole like it's not happening. He's just trying to redirect.
No. He's definitely filming them. Like he's filming them.
It's kind of like look at this while I'm doing this over here because I think he's trying to raise the bar. That's what he's doing.
Oh, like the South Park thing where he's raising the bar.
He's raising the bar. That's what he's doing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He's definitely doing them. He said I thought it was really cool is that it's the same explicit. Same, just
explicit. What's explicit?
The words he said. I'm not allowed to say
explicit.
Well, we're not allowed to say.
What does explicit mean?
It means bad word.
Bad word. So is a bad word? Explicit itself a bad word? Am I supposed to be saying it right now? Is explicit okay?
Yeah. Yes. It's okay.
It's okay.
Say explicit. I just said it.
Oh, don't say it then. Don't say it.
But Stephen Lang. We gotta get back to the story.
Getting us kicked off the show, man. Don't say it.
Okay. Well. Stephen Lang is he's going to be a through line, but I don't know how exactly they're going to incorporate him. If they just meant he's like metaphorically going to be the villain, like the same kind of person.
So he's a ghost.
I don't know. I mean, nothing's really come out about like what the plot lines are.
He gets reincarnated. You know who that looks like to me?
Who?
What's the guy that does all the Christian movies?
Oh, Kirk Cameron. He does look like Kirk Cameron.
That's Kirk Cameron.
He does look like Kirk Cameron. He's in a much better film than anything Kirk Cameron's been in years.
Oh, dang.
But, yeah, but I'm really curious to see how they're going to incorporate him into these next movies. I don't know if they're going to make this a prequel or they're going to make this something where he comes back to life, which is kind of stupid. But it is in the future, so who knows?
Is that the part from Venture Bros?
Are you more concerned with the picture behind us than the actual story? Like Venture Bros? I don't know. That's Snake back there.
That is not Snake.
I know. It looks like Snake. But I mean, Stephen Lang has such a powerful presence inside, like just like the way he holds himself, and like this scene right here, where he's telling all the people how bad all the creatures and all the natives on the planet are. That's actually kind of a really scary scene. He's got the scar down his face. He plays a great villain, and in Don't Breathe, he also plays a great villain too. And it's like really kind of, he's a great actor also, and he's really jacked. He looks the part, and he plays the part.
Yes, yeah. I think I know who he's going to be.
What?
He's going to be a zombie in this one.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
He's totally dead.
But I don't know. Speaking about I don't know, Darren Aronofsky has released a trailer for his new horror movie starring Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. And it's called Mother! And it's just Mother with exclamation point. And the trailers come out.
I'm ready for this.
I gotta say, man, I was really feeling it. Darren Aronofsky, in case you do not know, is he starred. Oh well, he didn't star. He directed a movie called Requiem for a Dream that used one of your favorites.
That movie's so funny. I love that movie.
But yeah, the trailer for it is it just kind of shows Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. They're a married couple, and the man in black from what was it? Can't think of the name. Westworld.
Yeah.
Ed Harris himself.
Ed Harris.
He comes in their house and he's something's creepy about him. Something's a little off.
He is creepy himself though. Ed Harris is creepy.
And like you kind of see here, I mean, it's kind of weird that Javier Bardem's like a lot older than Jennifer Lawrence too, and it's kind of weird.
So is that Javier Bardem or is that Jeffrey
It's Javier
Dean Morgan?
Bardem.
It's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
No, it's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
You sure?
It's Javier Bardem. But
So he looks exactly like.
yeah, I don't think they look exactly alike. But Darren Aronofsky also directed things like Black Swan. He directed the recent Noah movie, which I didn't see. I didn't care to see.
It was bad.
It was bad? Oh, wow. Yeah. But he doesn't have too many bad films under his belt. He has, like, The Fountain and stuff.
He's got really good comedy films, though.
But, I mean,
I like his comedy chops. They're really good.
His comedy chops? I don't think he has any comedy chops.
He's got comedy chops.
But
have you not seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah, I thought that movie was great. But
That's so funny.
He also did the Wrestler.
The Wrestler.
He's very visionary. His scripts don't always land with a lot of people. But I'm really curious now because he's kind of returned to his roots of kind of creepier, kind of like more psychological things. He also did Pi, I think.
Pi, Life of Pi.
No, not Life of Pi, just Pi.
Oh.
Like,
who did Life of Pi?
Believe that was.
No, I know who it was. It was Jon Favreau.
No, Jon Favreau did not do it. Life of Pi, I believe, was what's his name? Crouching High. Hidden Dragon. Yeah, Ang Lee did it, I think.
Well, I tell you, Life of Pi in my house is really short. So.
Yeah, but I think that's who it is. Leave a comment and tell me who it was, because I don't know.
Is that good?
I'm pretty sure that's who it was, though, because I never saw Life of Pi. Didn't care to.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie, the way the trailer is really constructed is actually really good. The score in it's really kind of eerie and kind of weird. It's kind of like this little pipe kind of hitting thing with like a little string is kind of plucking. And some of the visuals in there are definitely Darren Aronofsky. Oh, yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's in this also, I forgot. And I don't really know what it's going to be about, and that's the thing. This trailer doesn't give up too much, but it's a lot of creepy images of people walking towards the house, people inside the house.
I'm going to go ahead and make a bet. It's going to be about somebody being crazy. Now that this has really happened, it's all in her head.
You're probably right, but I mean, I hope it's more to it than that, especially with Darren Aronofsky at the helm. I hope it's something really cool.
I mean, I want some comedy scenes in it. I love.
I don't think there's going to be any comedy scenes.
I want a talking refrigerator.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a great visionary director. I mean, like, Requiem for a Dream is one of the most visual movies I've ever seen, kind of like as far as kind of like very nice kind of looking things. And script-wise also too, the last 15 minutes of that is it messes with your mind. I know you thought it was funny.
I did.
But I thought it was really psychological mess with.
Oh my gosh, that refrigerator! I laugh every time. Refrigerator moves across the floor.
I mean, just the way he kind of shoots things. Black Swan, everyone remembers that one scene from it. But
I know the one thing about it. Speaking of amazing scenes, and a really, really hope giving us, letting us move forward into the future is, we got new news about cable. The one thing that saved the whole Pretty much this whole generation. This Cable.
Cable did?
Cable.
I don't think, like, Cable is in cable television? Or this Cable right here?
No, I'm talking about...
Josh Brolin as Cable?
I'm talking about the news that Cable is going to be on Deadpool. I mean, comic book fans all around the world over, just millions and millions, hit the floor crying with joy knowing that Cable's going to be in the Deadpool sequel.
In case you don't know, the first photos of Cable, the character in Deadpool 2, played by Josh Brolin, have just been released on Twitter. So, if you were wondering what the story is about.
You're right. A lot of people didn't go to work today because they stayed home and cried because there's so much joy for knowing that this is actually is real. This is actually happening. I mean,
well, I heard a lot of criticism because a lot of people don't like the way he looks. I like the way he looks. I don't really have too strong opinions on this because I'm not too big into comic books.
It looks like Cable, to be honest.
It looks like Cable, and Josh Brolin's always a pretty good choice. He's a really great actor. He then has 2 characters he's playing in the Marvel universe. Different people owning the franchises, of course. But he's playing Big Bad Thanos. He's playing Cable. Is Cable a big bad, or is he a big neutral kind of thing?
He's the big good guy.
He's the big good guy?
He's the most powerful mutant.
Okay, I thought he was bad and mixed with good.
He's the most powerful. He's like a...
He's Scott Summers'
son. He's John Connor, pretty much.
Oh, isn't he Scott Summers' biological son?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the world's most powerful telepath and psychic. He's whatever he wants happens.
Oh, so women.
Yeah. I'm more like Death and Destruction.
That joke did not land at all.
Yeah, this guy was supposed to win the Beats Apocalypse, but that never happened.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. But the real question is here, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool is kind of like lightning in a bottle. It worked really, really well and really cemented R-rated comic book movies into our ethos now, and and now everybody wants to be Deadpool.
And saved Ryan Reynolds' career.
Yeah, and for sure. But what do you think this one's going to be as good as the first one? Do you think it's gonna? You think you could do this again?
It's different director now.
Different director, yeah. This guy that did John Wick, I believe.
John Wick was good. I'm all up for it.
But I mean, do you think that they can have something that's just as good and just as fresh and original as that first one?
Well, nothing is ever. Once you open the bag, it's not going to be as fresh as it was before.
Oh, okay.
See,
that goes for chips and everything.
I'm doing a grocery metaphor. You get a bag of chips. You get some chips out, but this is so fresh, and you're like, well, a year later, let me get some more chips out of that, and eventually it's
a year later.
Well, the metaphorical bag of movies.
Don't eat those.
You take it out, and everybody's like, oh, some more chips. A year later, and then it's
what kind of party is this? It sounds
they're not quite crunchy. They're still crunchy, not quite crunchy, and then you start digging at the very bottom. You're like, I've had this before, and they're just mushy in between my teeth. You know what I mean?
Well, on a scale from mush to crunch. What do you think this new Deadpool movie is going to be?
Semi-crunch.
Semi-crunch. You think it's going to be good, but probably not as good as the first one? And you think they'll acknowledge that in the movie?
I think so.
I think they probably know they're probably not going to have that.
It's like those comedy films where everybody uses up all the good jokes in the first one.
I think so. I mean, maybe they'll have more material to do.
Look at The Hangover.
Well, hopefully it's not the same thing again. And if it is, maybe they'll point it out. But still, it's kind of hard to critique something like that because it's kind of not too many ways to just say it's not that funny. Or just wasn't that funny, but who knows? I mean, I'm still gonna go see it. I'm really excited for it. I have no doubt Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds are gonna give good performances.
And it's gonna have a whole lot bigger budget.
Yeah, and maybe so because the first one was very kind of low.
Well, wasn't this the highest grossing X-Men movie?
I think it is probably somewhere up there. Speaking about high grossing. Star Wars 8 has just released some new details in the form of photos and plot details. And we're going to go through some photos right now. And I know Star Wars again. We always get new Star Wars news.
That's the Mary Sue
Someone
character.
sneezes on set, we got to report it.
What was the Mary Sue character's name?
Her name is Rey.
Oh, that's it, right. The Mary Sue character.
She's not a Mary Sue. I wouldn't consider her Mary Sue. She's a very charismatic, actress.
Mary Sue.
Nobody did that until Max Landis put it out.
Mary Sue.
But Rey, a little bit more details of her and Luke's relationship is going to go up. Not that kind of relationship.
Oh.
And it's like Luke is kind of a big hero for her, and she kind of treated him as a father figure almost, kind of like a metaphorical father figure. And Luke, he's very devastated by what happened with Kylo Ren. And that's been confirmed. Mark Hamill was talking about how his relationship with Kylo Ren in the character world, he thought he was the one, so he spent all his time and effort into him. And when he kind of turned on him, he felt responsible, and so he kind of hid off on this island. And so now Rey's kind of finding him. He doesn't want anything to do with the Force anymore. He kind of wants the Jedi to end. Just kind of go into oblivion because he feels like he's failed.
Are you reading the screen plot for me?
Well, I mean, this is the details that came out.
Okay, what I think is going to happen is that he's going to be crazy like Yoda. She's going to train with and doesn't believe he's Luke in the first place. And then eventually she's going to go off to go save their friends because they're going to get betrayed by the guy who runs the casino planet. But the guy is going to be close friends with one of the members of the team. And then he's going to betray them and be like, oh, they're holding everybody hostage. And then he's going to like turn around and save them at the end. She's going to show up and fight Kylo Ren. Probably get a hand cut off, maybe a foot. But some appendage getting cut off. She can get a robot version of it later.
Oh, so just Empire Strikes Back?
Pretty much.
I really hope they don't do that.
It's going to happen.
And I really hope it doesn't. From the things I've read, I think it's going to be a little bit different. Rian Johnson's such a talented director and writer, and the things I've seen and things I've heard about this, it looks like he had kind of.
It doesn't matter what he wants; it's what Disney wants.
Well, like the reports from the movie.
And what Disney wants, Disney gets.
Exactly.
Have you not seen South Park?
I mean, I know I have seen South Park, but from what I've seen and what I've kind of heard and read, Rian Johnson had a lot of creative freedom on this. It wasn't very Disney involved. They kind of like had a little bit of their hand into it. But Rian Johnson, they wanted like a good director-writer in this.
Mickey Mouse shows up.
I don't think he's going to.
Like a whole Kingdom Hearts thing. Mickey Mouse shows up and saves everybody. Like two lightsabers.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Would that be awesome?
It's two Keyblades.
Yeah, it's like, shoot, Keyblade, look, key light. You're digging this.
We gotta close the portal! Oh no! Kylo Ren's gonna cut my... Oh no!
Playing a Mickey Mouses.
And then you get Goofy in your party, and Goofy just hides behind the Force shield the whole time.
He's like, I'm on.
And then Donald's... Or however Donald sounds.
I'm liking this. And then, like, I don't know, like Woody from Toy Story, something there somewhere.
I don't know. Just throw the whole Kingdom Hearts. They're really trying to capitalize on this because they couldn't have product placement in this. So they got to have product placement somehow. So collaboration. But I mean, kind of talking about that, I don't think it's going to be the same as Empire Strikes Back. I think there's going to be similarities. I think they will get betrayed by the person that owns the casino thing. I think it's the whole reason they're going there to try to make it another Cloud City. But who knows? It might be a little bit different. But I know for a fact that Finn's storyline in this...
Calrissian.
And Finn, no, it's not Finn Calrissian. Finn is going to, as we know, last time we saw him, he got his back cut open by Kylo Ren. He's in this little recovery pod, and after he gets out, he wants out of the Resistance. He doesn't want in here anymore. He just wants to get away. He doesn't want to be a part of anything, and he just can't seem to get out. And this, the new character, I don't believe I know her name, but the new Asian girl that's playing. Hey, that's not stereotypical. It's true.
Ooh.
It's true. She's an Asian girl, and she's kind of like, she looks really up to him, and she's kind of like a fangirl for him, and they go on this mission together to the Casino Planet. And the Casino Planet pictures have also come out. I believe it's a matte painting kind of looking thing. Looks like some original concept art. And it looks really interesting. I'm really excited. I believe Laura Dern's character might be there, and like we've either seen like the real kind of slums of Star Wars or just kind of like the middle class. We've never really seen like the high class besides like Coruscant and stuff. So we're going to see like a whole different class of people in the future kind of thing. That's really cool.
Like Caesarbot.
Like Caesarbot?
Yeah, Futurama. It's like Caesarbot kind of.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Futurama.
Okay.
But,
well, let's kind of like move on because I'm already bored with Star Wars.
Okay. Well, guys, if you have any opinions on any of these things that are happening right now, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. I'm not going to flick them.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a really quick break, but when we come back, best, worst Stephen King movies. Yep. Well,
I'm Tyler.
I am Tyler. No. Well, stay with us. We're going to be talking about.
Stay classy.
In a world where some things are beyond legend, they will search for answers. Be prepared. Hang on to your seats. They are going where no one has gone before. Until now.
Why are you so close to me?
I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. Yo, check out our show on
No.
Big Bang Radio. Okay.
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Wow, you just ruined that moment, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I ruined whatever little freaky thing you had going on.
Oh, yes, that's called my life.
Oh.
But guys, Stephen King has a really big reputation of having novels being turned into movies. And some of them are good, a lot of them are bad. So that comes to our weekly segment, King Me, best and worst Stephen King movies.
That kind of sounds like Kingsman. It sounds like we're talking about Kingsman.
Oh no, King Me, best and it says right there, King Me, best and worst Stephen King movies.
I don't get it.
Well, you're about to. Well, so why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
Shawshank Redemption. Well, let me get all started on that. It's got Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins in it, and the guy goes to prison for something he never did. Morgan Freeman's kind of his friend, and it's about the whole deal of him getting in prison, becoming friends, and then finally escaping from prison. Very good movie. It's like a list of greatest movies ever made.
Could you be any more vague about this?
Yeah.
That was like the most surface level thing. Go into some detail. It's a 20-year-old movie. Let's talk about it. Why is it so good?
First of all, the monologuing by him was pretty dang amazing.
By Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
He was the narrator, which was so good. Telling about this little guy's life, him coming in there, him getting beaten up in the locker room. No, the showers. This is what the shower. No, the showers. The little room where they're like cleaning the clothes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
the
you call
laundry
it.
room.
Laundry room. That's what they're called. I don't do mine, so I don't know what they're called.
Oh man.
Mama got clothes. She washes them. But let's see. They finally escape. Anything he wants, he can like smuggle into the prison for him, and I think they eventually escape. I think something about a poster. No, I want a poster.
How long has it been since you've seen this movie?
So when did this come out?
94.
Since 94.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was 95. Never mind 95 because I think we rented it. I was about 6.
Oh well. But it's one of my favorite movies I've ever seen. And he gets away, he puts the poster up, and he digs the tunnel for years, and he goes through the sewer pipes out of some bad stuff.
I feel like there's Batman here somewhere.
It's kind of a Batman-esque story.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shawshank Redemption, great.
Yeah.
This next one is one that not a whole lot of people have seen. I hadn't heard about it until recently, and it was a Stephen King kind of short story inside of kind of this little spooky novel he wrote.
Everything's eventual.
No. It's a story kind of, it's in the vein of 1950s kind of like B-movie kind of things, directed by the same director of Shawshank Redemption, Frank Darabont. I'm talking, of course, about The Mist of 2007. The Mist is a kind of a throwback to like those late 1940s, kind of like early 1950s, kind of like sci-fi B-movies. It's about this mysterious mist comes across this town, and everybody gets stuck inside this grocery store.
Oh yeah, and then the demons from the in-between start coming to the
universe. Don't ruin it!
Oh.
Don't ruin it! And everybody's wondering, it's like, what's in the mist? It's like, well, what's in the mist? And like everyone tries to go out, and all of a sudden these things snatch them up, and they're stuck in there, and all of a sudden the creatures start coming in there, and they come under attack. And it's kind of like a very, we follow a really interesting, very relatable protagonist. And it gets really tense at parts because, and some of the effects do suffer a little bit in this movie. I think it's meant to be seen in black and white because Frank Darabont really wanted it to be released in black and white, but the studio was like, well, no one's going to see it if it's in black and white. But so if you watch it in black and white, it's a much better film. But the protagonist makes really logical decisions that you think you wouldn't make in the situation. Some of them blow up in his face, and especially the end of this film. Do not ruin it if you know what it is. The ending of this film is downright heartbreaking, and it's just like one of the most, probably one of the best endings to a film like this ever, because it's just so and you look at that situation like, I'd probably do that, yeah. And
I wouldn't have done that.
You sure? I'm about to say,
I read the book. I know what I was supposed to do.
Well, I'll give that one to you. But in case you've never seen the ending of this movie, don't let it get spoiled for you. It's a great film. It's one of Frank Darabont's best. It's one of the Stephen King adaptations, one of the best. So, Tyler, why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
It's probably one of the greatest Stephen King adaptations was The Green Miles, based off some short novels he had written. I think there was a volume of like 15 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a prison back in the Great Depression, I think Louisiana, and the guy he ran the death ward in the prison,
mm-hmm.
and he's got these crazy psychopath killers, and then one man came in and he's accused of killing a child, and a lot of it's to do with racism. They accuse him, but he could heal. And over time, he kind of realized that this man is good. He's probably one of the greatest men that's ever lived, and he's just amazing. He can heal people. He's lived a really long time, and he knows that he's innocent, and they have to execute him. And him being there has changed everybody's life.
Yeah.
And he has the power to take away people's pain and their fear, and take away any disease or sickness they have.
He can also feel pain too. Like he feels your pain, he feels your suffering.
And a lot of it is he took the blame for the death because he just doesn't want to live anymore. He's seen so much death and horror because you assume he's immortal almost. He's lived almost forever, that he's tired of feeling the pain of others, and he can't go on anymore. So he changed this man's. He took away his bladder infection,
mm-hmm.
touched him and he'll take the pain and turn into like bugs, and it'll just fly out of him.
Yeah.
And I think
that's such a Stephen King thing to do.
And then I think they did find the real killer. Actually, was thrown in there. That was Sam Rockwell. He was the real killer. But that's not the reason why he's on the death row. But he gets a horrible, horrible man who helped run the death ward, gets him to kill the prisoner, and then after that, I think he dies, and then it's about him writing and remembering his friend.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great film. It's definitely a Stephen King story, and definitely one of the best adaptations. And also the scene. Spoilers, in case you haven't seen this movie.
It's an old movie.
It's older movie. It's like 1999, 2000, and like something like that.
Yeah.
When the guy catches on fire because the guy didn't wear the sponge, it still horrifies me to watch.
He just wanted to see what happened if he didn't wear the sponge.
Well, they catch on fire. So this next movie is one that a whole lot of people have not seen, but it's definitely one of the best ones of the Stephen King kind of adaptation world. Actually, Frank Darabont didn't direct this one. It's amazing. It's a movie called Misery, starring Kathy Bates. It's about a novelist. He gets into a car crash, and this lady, played by Kathy Bates, kind of takes him to her house.
And she's nuts.
Well, she's a former nurse.
Who to kill the babies in the child's ward.
Well, she's a nurse that's a really big fan of his novels, and she figures out that he's going to kill off a lot of her favorite characters in his new novel. So she starts torturing this guy, and there's a scene in here that like is downright terrifying. And it's like a fangirl gone berserk. It's like if one of the One Direction guys like got into a car crash and one of their fangirls got with them, and it was like the ones that like hugged their dog too hard and like it suffocated. It's kind of like that person, except more senile and more insane. And there's a scene in here like where like she ties him to a bed and she just does terrible things.
Makes him write her own story.
Yeah, I mean, like she wants him to write the story she wants to hear. Mm-hmm. And it's truly a terrifying. It's one of the most like cringe kind of like I'm so disgusted and like I'm so terrified of what's happening right now because it seems oddly real.
And there's a part in this film that everybody remembers. If you've seen it, you know that they're really cringe.
Let's not give it away because I want people to go on this movie kind of blind. But why don't you go and take the next one?
Okay, next one we got Christine from the early '80s.
Mm-hmm. Wait for it. Now what's up?
That was Christine. And this film back in the day it came out, and it didn't have a lot of gore and violence in it, but they wanted to push a R rating for the film because Stephen King. So what they decided was John Carpenter rewrote a lot of the script and made them say very ugly words to try to push an R rating on it. And it's about a kid gets his new car, and the car is possessed. It's alive, and it slowly possesses him. It is obsessed with it, loves him, and it'll kill anybody. It'll come to life and run over anybody that gets in between him, the car, and her current owner. It says Christine on the side, so it calls it Christine. And Christine is a killer, and you can't get rid of Christine because they burn it, set it on fire, smash it up, wreck it, and it'll heal itself and come back the next day. It's indestructible.
It's that really cool scene with the thing. We'll talk about it a little later if we have time. But that concludes kind of the good ones.
Yeah.
And the good ones are very few and far between. There's not a whole lot of great Stephen King adaptations. Most of them are just the ones we mentioned and a few more. And time to get in the long list of the bad ones, but we only got 5 here. So Tyler, why don't you go ahead and take the first one?
The Graveyard Shift. It was about, I believe, a giant bat rat that was eating people that worked in an old mill that made string.
It's something
or
like
wool,
that.
Or,
it was very not good.
Yeah. They went in the basement, had to clean it, and then there was a rat, a giant.
It's a bunch of rats in there.
And then I think a giant bat with a long rat tail was eating people.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that definitely sounds like a Stephen King movie, but not very good. So this next one, it's kind of in the similar vein.
That's probably the worst one. This is worse.
This is probably one of my least favorite ones. It's a movie called The Mangler. And The Mangler stars your favorite Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. And it's about, I feel bad even talking about this because it's such a terrible film. But the blood of a virgin gets on this
But she
machine.
was taking medicine, and the pill had like nightshade in it, so it was like accidental demon summoning.
Yeah, it was really,
accidental ritual.
It's really it's really weird. And it's like she gets her blood on this machine, and it becomes possessed by this demon and starts eating people. Yeah. And then the machine gets up. This machine right here, and the machine gets up at the very end. I don't care if I spoil this movie for you, because the thing gets up at the very end, and 1995 graphics and chases them, and it's one of the most unintentionally hilarious things I've ever seen. But yeah, so why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
We got Sleepwalkers.
Okay.
And it's about it was like a race of creatures that could take on the form of humans. Humanoid cats, and I think they were ancient, and they were worshipped by the Egyptians, and they were like energy vampires, and they would travel around as mother and son and go and
don't they make out too? It's really weird.
Well, yeah, they're posing as mother and son, and
it's really weird.
And they would go around and find young girls, and they would suck the life out of them.
Yeah, and then that concludes that story.
I kind of feel like wasn't that Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? Wasn't that the plot for that?
I think it was actually.
It was the same plot with Scooby-Doo on Zombie
Island. He's sucking the souls out of them, and he put in this little bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrappy was. Yeah. I'd never known that. That blows my mind.
I'm talking about Zombie Island, not Scooby-Doo movie. I'm talking about the animated one. Scooby-Doo, the 2 cat people, and they were sucking the energy out of it. The same plot. Plot.
Well, they stole from Stephen King. I bet it's done a lot better. But this next one, I think we should replace this one with this another one we talked about a little earlier, and it's a movie called Maximum Overdrive. Mm-hmm. Maximum Overdrive is one of the most unintentionally hilarious films ever. And there's a whole score made entirely by AC/DC. And it's funny. It's the only movie ever written and directed by Stephen King. What?
Bon Scott AC/DC or?
I think it's after that. Bon Scott has been dead at this point. It's back in the 80s. So,
directed by Stephen King.
Yeah, and directed by Stephen King. The only movie he's ever directed.
I think it had Emilio Estevez in it, if I remember.
I think Emilio Estevez is in it.
Or if you know him as Emilio Sheen.
Emilio Sheen? Well, Emilio Estevez that's how he's mostly known. But yeah, this movie is really weird. I think there's a weird trailer for it too, where Stephen King is talking about it. Yeah, and the Green Goblin is the Green Goblin is like on the front of this truck.
William Dafoe.
No, not William Dafoe. Like the Green Goblin characters on the front, and it's that one right behind him. And basically, this trailer is Stephen King going, "It's gonna scare the heck out of you." It's one of the greatest trailers for a movie, and this movie is really funny. It's not meant to be, but it is funny. Yeah. So this last one, I guess we can both talk about this last one because I'm not sure if you've seen it. And yeah, that seems kind of funny too when he's getting the Coke cans hit in that area. Yeah. So this next one. Is one that has a scene in there that I really enjoy. It's a movie called Lawnmower Man. It's a movie that not a whole lot of people know about. It's back in '92. Pierce Brosnan plays in it, and he gets this lawnmower boy that's outside, like kind of like that like mows the lawn. He's kind of like a pool boy, except he mows the lawn, and he keeps like doing weird experiments on him and like makes him smarter, I think. Mm-hmm. And eventually he becomes this computer program, and like he becomes really smart. And they have this up there. This is a real graphic from this, from 1992 graphics, and he compares himself how he is God.
Oh, what was the Dire Straits? I remember this.
No, it's not Dire.
Refrigerators. Color TV.
I don't think that's what it is. But it's not very good CGI, and it definitely shows it's made in 1922.
So this guy's not moving refrigerators, color TV. Is that what you're telling me?
No. He looks like Tron. And yeah, the computer graphics were not ready for this quite yet.
Oh, look at that. It's GoldenEye. It looks like GoldenEye, don't it?
It does look
GoldenEye. It's straight up GoldenEye.
But guys, thank you so much for watching so far. If you have any questions or opinions on anything that we've talked about, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to take a really quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about that crappy movie that Sony put out this year.
You cannot say that. You cannot say that word. Don't say Sony in this place. It's forbidden.
I'm so sorry. I know, it really narrows it down. Okay, stay with us.
Yeah.
In a world where some things are beyond legend, they will search for answers. Be prepared. Hang on to your seats. They are going where no one has gone before. Until now.
Why are you so close to me?
I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. Yo, check out our show on Big Bang Radio. No. Okay.
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
Hey guys, welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I'm the other guy.
Ooh, how come always when we come back from the second break, you always just say the other guy? You give up on your name.
I don't feel like saying my name again.
Oh well.
I'm that lazy. I'm just tired of saying
it. A man that has no name. You don't watch Game of Thrones?
What?
You don't watch games like Man Has No Name?
I'm nobody.
I'm nobody. Phalamaculis.
And I also have a horse that has no name.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. And it's time for our weekly movie review, and this week it's going to be...
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower. Give it some time. Let's do it again.
The Dark Tower.
No. We got to time it with the sound effect. Time for this week's movie review.
The Dark Tower.
No. You got to say it after the chime, okay? Time for this week's movie review.
The Dark Tower.
You hesitated, but we'll count it. It's a solid. It's a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Not the movie.
6 out of 7.
So, in case you don't know, Tyler, explain what the movie The Dark Tower is about.
The movie or the actual Dark Tower?
The movie.
Oh my gosh! Okay, where I start? It was
just a brief overview.
Imagine 7 books, and they like skip like through the 6 of them.
Okay.
Went straight from like a little bit for the first one, skipped like a little bit of the 7th, and wrote everything in between.
Okay.
Just made a whole bunch of other stuff with it.
Okay.
That's all I can really describe it. It was like a movie where they couldn't figure out what the genre was. They kept jumping from genre to genre to genre.
Yeah. So in case you don't know, the movie takes place around a young kid. I don't even remember his name. I don't think it matters.
Jake Chambers.
Yeah. How do you know? Oh yeah, you know. You read the books.
I read all of them.
Jake Chambers. Is seeing all these visions inside of his head. He's a young boy in New York, and all of a sudden he gets sucked into this world called Mid-Earth or
Midworld.
Midworld. He gets sucked into Midworld, where these characters called gunslingers protected the world and this dark tower, which protected all the universes from the dark forces.
Anchored all the universes in place.
Anchor all the universes in place. And this man, known as the Man in Black,
Walter O'Dim.
Yep, Walter.
Randall Flagg.
That's all he's trying to destroy that tower because he wants the darkness to be released. And so Jake has all these visions, and all of a sudden he gets sucked into this world, and he brings Idris Elba's character into the modern world, and he's never been there, so it's really interesting. So Tyler, I think you kind of already talked about what you think about this movie, but what do you think about this movie?
I would say, like, if I had to compare this to a seasick crocodile, I'd take the seasick crocodile.
That's quite a comparison.
Yeah, I went all Grinch there with it too.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I thought this movie, like, see, we come from two different perspectives on this.
Steamy, it was a big steamy pile.
Okay, well, we come from two different perspectives because you read all the books and graphic novels.
And the prequels.
Yeah, and I've never read any of these things. I barely even heard about it before these movies came out. And kind of an overview of what I was thinking about this. I didn't think this movie was very good at all.
It was terrible.
The movie's not good. I didn't think it was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I like some of the kind of concepts of the Dark Tower that might be from the novel.
Concepts from the novel.
Yeah, but the movie in and of itself, as a movie, it fails. But let's go ahead and talk about.
Oh, okay, let's throw in one of my favorite parts of this film.
Okay.
And I'm being sarcastic right now. I'm quotation sarcasm right now because it's real. I'm even sarcastic about my sarcasm right now. It is the part where, like, you had, like, bystanders saying, "Oh yeah, that's Roland. Do you know his sword's melted down by Excalibur?" Yeah, it's a fun fact. Let me say some more fun facts about stuff that was from the books that never made into this movie. So we're just going to throw information about this guy while we're sitting here watching him.
Yeah.
I love that part. That was filmmaking brilliance right there.
This movie's full of filmmaking
This
brilliance.
man, Citizen Kane. Oh my gosh.
I'm about to say
Orson Welles, regular Orson Welles right there.
What were they expecting with this? Like, I know it's a Stephen King property, but like the exposition, especially, let's talk about the first act. The first act of this movie is a disaster.
Bad.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
The exposition is downright offensive in the first part of this film. Without giving too much away, there's a scene here early on where Jake
for
Chambers,
like the seventh book, that's the beginning. You talking about the beginning?
The beginning of the film. Like, let's not talk about the novels. Let's talk about the movies.
Oh, you talking about
because the novels don't matter in this movie.
The village.
No. Well, I'm talking about more so Jake Chambers'
having a
storyline.
dream. That was.
Yeah, that opening scene of him kind of like having the dream and everything, and his stepdad's not a nice guy. He has like the worst stepdad ever, right next to like all the other stepdads out there.
And that stepdad wasn't in the books.
No offense to all stepdads, but there's a scene in there because obviously his father is not around, and it's very obvious he's dead. And they say early on in the movie, it said, "You were thinking about your father who died in a fire. He was a firefighter. In a fire, he died."
I swear they're gonna say something about 9/11 or something.
I thought, yeah, that would have made more sense if he was died in 9/11. That make more sense. I mean, I don't think he's old enough for his dad to have that.
Well, he was born in 1963, so I guess that they could have thrown that in there.
But
according to the book, Jake Chambers born in 1963.
Well, that's not how it is in this book. This movie. Sorry, but I think that. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting shot by Idris Elba right now.
Oh, it does.
That's how I felt when I want to see this movie. But yeah, the exposition, especially there's a scene early on where Roland, where Jake Chambers is having a vision. This is a bit of spoilers for this movie, in case you don't want to know about it. There's a scene in there where the Allstate guy I think it's his dad.
Allstate guy, yeah, he was Steven Deshane.
So they were there, and they were in this little tiny set. Like this little location they could film in, and he looks up. Roland looks up at him. He's like, "We've lost. We are the only two gunslingers left in mid Earth or like mid world or whatever." He's like, "Oh, don't worry. As long as your magic gun gets us out of here, we will be okay." That's like almost verbatim the line.
Because that's where Allstate stands.
Are you in good hands? Obviously not, because a minute later the Allstate guy dies.
Yeah.
And and the Man in Black, played by Matthew McConaughey, comes up and he's like, it's like we have a past that you will not know about in this movie, and yeah, see you, old friend. You are impervious to all my magic. And it was so bad.
Yeah, it was just like, here, let me give you.
It was like they were dumping it out.
What you got? Exposition, just tons of.
It was Matthew McConaughey was an exposition machine in this.
Yes, he was.
And the kid actor wasn't very good either. But I mean, he's a kid actor. I can't blame him too much. Can't talk too bad about him. But I watched this movie and I thought, right off the bat, I'm like, this looks like a movie written by Akiva Goldsman. And in case you don't know who Akiva Goldsman is, Akiva Goldsman's known for writing really terrible blockbusters, and he's written Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. The only really competent movie he's ever written was Beautiful Mind, and that was already based on something. He also came up with a story for Transformers. He wrote the Divergent movies. So this man, This man has a good repertoire behind him. So I was watching this movie. I'm like, this is like Akiva Goldsman type, writing. And I look in the credits, Akiva Goldsman right there. He helped write this film along with like 6 other screenwriters.
See, I mean, I know it's having trouble because it passed down from like what 7 directors.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wanted this because you can't take. It's kind of like they took 7 or 8 books. It's like you took Game of Thrones and put it into an hour-and-a-half movie.
That's about what happened.
This movie is barely a movie. It's barely an hour and a half.
Barely a concept.
Like, it's hour and a half including the credits.
Yeah, really.
And it feels like 4 hours.
Yeah.
But, so many directors passed on it because they knew it was a terrible idea. But Sony, no offense to Sony, but it's true.
I know this was Sony film. I could tell it was also Sony film.
You just know it's a Sony film because it's like shameless marketing inside the film. Everyone's got Sony phones. Nobody records on their phones. Everyone records on Sony 4K cameras they have.
I noticed that too.
And,
everybody's like this.
Everyone's got Sony laptops. Coca-Cola products are very prevalent. And they're in New York too, so they can show the ads in the background. And there's a Verizon building that they show all the time. It's just so many things in here. It's downright distracting.
At least they had the Dixie Pig in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what that is, but the way that Dixie Pig is executed in this movie is really bad because the action scenes seem really rushed. Like they were trying to rush through them because they didn't have the budget to do all the stuff. Because that was another thing that frustrated me because the budget wasn't big on this, and it really should have been. It should have been a bigger budget film.
Well, I heard this was like a 3.5 hour movie.
Oh,
they said during the testing, they said it was horrendous. They cut the movie down to an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, and it looks like a movie with a lot of scenes cut out, and it definitely has some chopping up in the editing room. But something that really frustrated me is when you saw they heard about all these grand ethos things in Midworld. You got to see all these little things, like in the distance, kind of the fog, and then you cut to like this really tiny set.
Yeah, it is.
And because and some of the effects, they all look like Neo from the second Matrix movie, like where it's like Balloon Man. Yeah. And downright not good. But overall, it's very disappointing. A very big missed opportunity. I'm not as upset as you because I didn't really have any investment in this as it is. It's just another kind of boring, bad science fiction movie from Sony that I've seen. So there's a lot of those. So I mean, I'm gonna go first on the scoring. I'm gonna probably give this one like a 3 out of 10, like a 2.5 out of 10. Probably I'm gonna go 3 out of 10 because I really like Idris Elba.
See, I give it a 2 out of 10 because that's the only reason why it's a 2 out of 10 is because Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey actually did a pretty good job. Matthew McConaughey did. He was feeling the you could tell he was feeling the character, but dialogue was terrible.
The script was bad. The direction felt really rushed, and the editing was extremely choppy.
Lighting wasn't.
It went way too fast. Like you couldn't soak in what was going on.
And then talking about the shine. The boy got to shine.
I'm like, does he have moonshine on?
Crothers will show up somewhere. He got to shine and be like, red rum, rolling red rum. But none of that happened. I didn't see any of that. I mean, it's just. It was wasted material.
It's very wasted, and this is something that actually needs to be a franchise, not a one-off. It's one of those things that need to be continued.
This needs to be in like HBO or Stars.
Yeah, I can see HBO doing this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's too big to be a. I mean, the books piled up is like this tall, man. I mean, this is way too long to do movies.
Yeah. But guys, if you have any opinions on this or anything that we've talked about, do you think we're right? Do you think we're wrong? Please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say.
How about episode where I come here and I read The Dark Tower?
That's more of a cover-to-cover thing.
I go in The Dark Tower
11 to 11:30.
How about I go to cover and read The Dark Tower?
You got to talk to Kate and Bailey about that.
Can I do a little cut where I kind of sip it?
Okay, guys, we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, mystery movie facts. Stay with us.
Oh, Lord, we're doing mystery movies.
Did you know Nash Community College offers 12 degree programs entirely online? Are you interested in information technology? Explore information technology systems, network management, systems security, healthcare informatics, or web design and administration. These 2-year programs are only a few of the online associate degrees offered through Nash Online. Students receive the same quality instruction and resources as on-campus students without ever stepping foot on Nash's campus. Learn more about Nash Online today at online.nashcc.edu.
welcome back to Big Bang Cinema. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler, and I'm ready for the bag of mystery.
So time for this week's segment of Mystery Movie Facts.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, so I mean, it used to be mystery too when you Googled them on air. But
So that's the mystery bag.
yeah, it's a mystery bag. So this time you actually don't know what we're going to be doing.
I get to stick my hand in a bag full of mystery.
So in this bag we have a bunch of random Stephen King movies. We were going to get Mr. Tyler to come up here and pick one out. So Tyler, why don't you go ahead and pick one?
I can feel the mystery. Okay, I got
Again,
one.
Stephen King movies.
Christine.
Oh, you got Christine.
I got Christine.
All right.
I think I gave all my facts on Christine already.
Oh, no, you talk about the car that you're talking about.
The car was possessed. The guy who used to own it died, a bad guy. Soul got stuck in the car. I think John Carpenter did it. John Carpenter, which at the time he was a groundbreaking director. I mean, he was like, I'm gonna push it one step further. So he did the whole break. They got there's a part where the car gets broken and then it heals itself. And they actually got steel cables and got a hollow car frame and put a hydraulic pump. And as the pump pulled down, it made the car implode on itself. And then he recorded it, and then he flipped the footage, made it backwards. So the car was already imploded, and then it started to fix itself. Which I mean, it's pretty amazing to see. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I'd say at the time, I mean, you can appreciate the special effects coming in this film. I mean, it was a groundbreaking milestone. And I mean, the acting was pretty good. Some of it was kind of off, but I mean, it's creepy. I mean, all of this the guy's obsession with the car. He's obsessed with it. It's possessing him. He's obsessed. He didn't care about anything. He get rid of his friends, and it's kind of, I guess, it's kind of like drugs, kind of like a drug analogy. Mm-hmm. Like he's throwing away his family and his friends because he's obsessed with it.
That's pretty good, yeah, actually.
Yeah, or like internet or something like that. But just loves it, and I think the car gets caught. I mean, this is the part where the car is on fire, and it's driving around like down the road on fire, and I'm just thinking like, that's cool. And it like melts, and then it goes, and it like heals itself again. And it just, I mean, you can see like the way that the movie is shot and done. It's such. I mean, you feel like the car itself is alive. You feel like the car is alive. And it's such an amazing. And it was actually going to get a PG-13 rating, and they were like, let's try to push it R rating, make it a really scary movie. So because they want the kids to go in to see it, they want to push it R. So he went back. John Carpenter went back and changed all the dialogue, put like F words and all the ugly, nasty words of that day in there. I mean,
it's definitely a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, and they up the language in it because I mean it's a pretty tame film. I mean the violence wise, because I mean it's car violence, so I mean it's not really, but. They gave it an R rating. I mean, I think at the time it was one of the most watched horror films.
I mean, it's a John Carpenter movie, so I mean, it's going to be going down in history as definitely one of the best. Does it have one of his famous scores in there, the really ambient kind of like? Like for me, this is just me. John Carpenter's movies are always kind of give and take. His scores, I'm not always the biggest fan of. Some of them work, some of them don't. Like in Escape from New York, I'm not a big fan of the score in that. I don't think it matches very well. But it's more just kind of like, is this like a synth-based one?
No, I think it's like the old 80s style. It's like, I guess it was synth.
Okay, like was it a lot of synthesizers and stuff? No, that's 80s.
I'm trying to remember.
Because John Carpenter did his own scores and stuff, and they're kind of give or take for me. I don't know if I really like them, but yeah.
I'm doing the Terminator soundtrack. If you haven't noticed.
I noticed. Yeah, well, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. So next week we're going to see possibly an Oscar-winning film.
Oh, I'm ready for this, Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I know, me too. Annabelle Creation.
Ooh, that was a rotten movie.
Yeah, so hey, we haven't seen it yet, but it's definitely going to be bad.
No, I'm talking about the one before this was bad.
Oh yeah, apparently it had like 100% Rotten Tomatoes. I think that was a joke. I don't know. I saw articles.
What, you talking about this one?
Yeah, I don't think that's real though.
The prequel.
No, I think it's this one.
The prequel probably had like 9 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, it probably does. I think this one's probably going to be bad.
It was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Was Annabelle.
I can't wait to see it. Actually, I can, and I probably will.
Well, I just hope it's not another movie where people are in a room arguing about what they're going to do with the doll.
You know it's going to be.
And you're going to have like some lady can show up out of nowhere, grab it, and jump out a window.
It's probably going to be a big old cash grab movie. It's probably just something to make money off from because it's a recognizable name.
I don't know. Let's throw it away. No,
this looks like it's something that come out in January.
January film. I feel like it's along the lines of The Ring.
It's probably, again, January is the dumpster fire of movies.
Dumpster fire
I think
of
this one was moved from January to now. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want us to do anything or have any opinions on anything that we've talked about, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC.
Would you like to give us money to carry your opinion?
Oh, that's not legal. But guys, thank you so much for watching.
Can we do that?
No.
Can I get paid to have somebody else's opinion?
I don't. Well, not here. Not here.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
You want to be a patriarch?
No.
Patriarch is something totally different.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Stay lovely.
I need a sugar mama.